Reddit has gone ablaze with a crazy fan theory about Star Wars in general. I think the whole series, not just The Force Awakens, sadly, but it seems that one user by the name of Lumparuru, look it up, has come up with the theory that Jar Jar Binks was not the idiot he appeared to be, that we grew to hate, but in fact that he was the mastermind, the true villain behind it all. So the theory is that he was pretending to be a fool, but in reality he had a partnership, or perhaps he was the leader between himself and Emperor Palpatine, and he had masterminded this all, and that he himself is a Sith Lord, which sounds kind of crazy, but if you read the whole theory, it's not that crazy.
He brings up interesting evidence. This is a theory that's been coming up really since the prequel started, because when you see something in a movie you don't like, or if you see some element of that you don't like but you like the rest of the story or the franchise or whatever, you want to justify it, you want to explain it, you want to make it make sense. Mm-hmm. Other than, yeah, that was a terrible call.
That was a bad move.
Right.
Well, the way it concludes, let's just work backwards, is that he felt that this was the intention that George Lucas had beginning with Phantom Menace, but then after the hatred from the audience for this character, he kind of chickened out and made him a half-formed, sort of comic relief character, which explains why Count Dooku is kind of weak and
right.
Not a strongly developed villain, and he just kind of shows up and fights Yoda. But his Yoda's true opponent would have, or ostensibly should have been, according to this theory, Jar Jar. So it goes back into this old interview with George Lucas, in which he said that Yoda really comes from a tradition of mythological storytelling, fairy tales, of the hero finding a little creature inside of the road that seems very insignificant and not very important, but who turns out to be the master wizard or the master thing. Which it seems like Jar Jar was created in that way, where he seems like, oh, he's just a side character. He's just this silly guy. Why would two Jedi bring a huge stone-cold idiot with them on an important mission? It doesn't seem to make sense, like you said, but it just, maybe he was intended to be that hidden secret there.
I mean, and this particular theory actually brings a lot of great creativity to the evidence that they gather. And
no, he did a great job with the rhetoric on this.
Yeah, no, I think, it's, I don't necessarily agree that was the original intention, or that it's something that carries through all the movies, because you're sort of having your cake and eating it too. You're saying, well, this was the original intention, and then George changed it. But you're also saying that the other two movies consistently stay on that plot thread. It just wasn't revealed. And sensibly, that doesn't work. If you're deciding to go against your original intention, you go against your original intention. You don't keep building to it.
I don't know if George Lucas always makes the best,
No.
decisions.
And that's what I'm saying.
I think believable to me.
Yeah, I think it's more that he meant Jar Jar to seem like this ordinary person who was still adding to the battle and still has something to offer, and he just didn't give us enough reason to think that. He just created a weak character.
There are several arguments that I didn't mention, but I encourage you to go read fully about why this would happen. First, it starts that Jar Jar is a skilled warrior, mastering the drunken fist method, and there are some comparison videos between him and drunken fist masters, because what they think, oh, well, Jedi are supposed to be monks. What is another discipline near this? Drunken fist. So that sort of makes sense right there. And then it shows what appears to be him using the Force in an ambush by some droids, and jumping up on one balcony side and ending up on the other, and the droids firing in his original position. There is also the idea that he was a master of Jedi mind control, because how else would, again, a stone-cold idiot be promoted to general and then senator and then accidentally give Palpatine power? And it shows him using, what is a hallmark of mind control? Hand movements, different, and it shows different waves that Jar Jar is doing while he's giving speeches. It's very interesting. So the idea is that they were co-conspirators, or maybe even Jar Jar was pulling the strings there, and that it would have worked up that way, but it didn't pan out because everyone hated Jar Jar so much, and then they had to kind of scrap that idea and scramble for something new. I think it sounds awesome, but I'm a little bit with you in that I don't think this much thought went into it.
No,
I
it
wish
also
that much thought went into it.
well, also Lucas has never been subtle. So the
In
revelation
my
of
opinion, it is the Jedi who are wrong.
yeah. Well, I'm blinded by your love. I'm blinder. It's just it's subtlety is not something he does. I mean, Yoda. Everyone's pointing to Yoda like, oh, but he seemed like a weird little thing, and then we learned he's a master.
Because we
Yes,
see him, like,
3 minutes
hobbling
later,
around. Yeah.
we learned 3 minutes later.
Fair.
So that's I think the biggest argument against that. But again, why the hell not? Why not adopt this as your headcanon and enjoy it?
Sure. I mean, that's what I feel about the EU, which was uncanonized.
Yeah.
You can think whatever you want, and if it lives in your heart, then it's true to you.
Aw.
But then this user, Lumparoo, whose name I cannot pronounce, and I apologize again, thought that there was a strong case that they could resurrect this idea with the new trilogy, mainly for marketing reasons and to sell toys that already exist with their Clone Wars type universe.
I would rather you not do that. I would rather, if you're going to change Jar Jar's character like this and delve into justifying and explaining and validating all the dumb stuff he did, then implant it in Rebels or do another side project. You don't have to put that into the main movie. At most do one of those side movies that delves into it, like what they're doing with Rogue One and all that. But I don't need to see that in The Force Awakens.
I think it could have worked if they didn't make his voice so stupid. But yeah, again, this is a great argument and a great theory.
It is.
I really like it, but it's probably a little bit more advanced than even the thinking behind the movie's writing went at all. Audience, what do you think of this insane theory? And do you like it? Let us know what you think below in the comments. And please like and subscribe for more.